Krissy Sutcliffe, thank you so much for making time in a very, very busy week. But there are a couple of classes I've just got to ask you about. First of all, I think we broke a British or UK or maybe even international record with 61 young singers in the junior songs from the shows on Saturday. Talk to me about that, Krissy.
Well, it was a great class. It was a long class, but it was a great class. I think it starts at year 3, so that's the sort of the middle of primary school, and the bottom and the top end is year 8, so that's the second year of high school. So it's a massive range, and it was nice to see more developed young singers, and then the kind of teeny tinies that are developing, and maybe even it's their first or second time even singing on the stage. And it was lovely to see such variety. It was lovely to see great variety in the songs that they were doing, and the time periods. I think the adjudicator said that, I think she said it was almost 100 years of music covered, with all the different styles and genres that the kids were doing. It's great to see some of them moved a lot, some of them were very still, some were quite belty and quite mature sounding, some were very teeny tiny voices just developing, but still absolutely gorgeous and well supported and ringing out, and supported very ably by the kind of not only the accompanists but by the Gaiety tech staff, who just had just the right amount of amplification on them, and it was just like, it was long, I'm not going to lie, maybe they should think about splitting it, but I think probably I'm the millionth person to have suggested that, but it was a really lovely thing, and the future of musical theatre is definitely safe.
Well, musical theatre is very, very strong on the island, and there's lots of opportunities for young people to get on the stage and get into really quality shows. The thing that interests me about this is that it's an own choice class, and so you could run the risk of having 20 young people all singing, a particular song from Wicked, but we didn't get that. We got a great spread. But the thing about this is it's not only being able to sing. Musical theatre requires a little bit of acting as well, doesn't it? So it's quite a lot for a youngster to absorb it and to put forward in one performance, isn't it?
Well, I think, yes, very, very much so. And I think talking about the variety and having, you don't want 20 singing, maybe, for example. I think there were 3 singing, maybe. But it's testament, I think, and I mean, I say this as a teacher myself, but I only had a couple in the class. But it's testament to the good teaching that's happening, in that every one of those students had a piece that suited them and suited their level of development. Some of them, like I say, were quite advanced, and they were doing things from Wicked and other sort of bigger shows and more modern shows that need a more secure and belty vocal technique. And then there were others who were doing very cute little things that were just absolutely perfect for their voice and their ability as it is at the moment now. So yeah, so big up the teachers.
Big up the teachers, absolutely, and the accompanists, and big up to class winner Ailish Kilgallen, and yes, we had a joint second for Ava and for Crystal, so our biggest congratulations to them. Now, you mentioned that in that class there were some teeny tiny voices, but we had the ultimate in teeny tiny performers in a new class, and this is for our little stars, and this is for reception age children who are too young to go into any of the other classes in the guild, not to be judged, all to be given a certificate, all to be given a lot of affirmation. So you were there. Tell us about it, Krissy.
Well, it was adorable. That was absolutely, it was just the most lovely experience, I think, for the audience to watch and for the children to do as well. There was everything from a little dance, and there was singing. There was a little piece of like a scene, a monologue. Obviously, everything is kind of in miniature because they're miniature, so everything was quite short. Somebody even sang a very beautiful "Twinkle the Little Star," but it was so nice because the kids were able to choose something that they really enjoyed doing. There was one young man who did a very, very impressive monologue from Star Wars, and with lightsaber sort of choreographed dance piece, and he wished us all for the Force to be with us at the end, which was a very, very nice start to a Monday and the start to a Guild Week. We all need the Force, really, don't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that young man is Olivia Landell's eldest
I
child.
think it is. Yeah. He was just gorgeous, and they all were. And it's a real huge kudos for the committee to kind of have included something like this, because the festival is continuing and will need to continue, and having the young people, the very, very teeny tinies, having a great experience where they can just perform the sort of thing that my daughter used to do, you know, for the family, and to do it in a bigger environment, and to get that sort of bug of, oh, I quite like being applauded, you know, because it's the way that things move on, and to give them a lovely positive experience, I think, is a fantastic thing.
And as you once said very wisely to me when we were chatting about this, that you never know what life brings along. Though some of those children this morning might get addicted to the Guild and love being on the stage, as you say, and come back. But on the other hand, even if they just have that one experience, then that'll have given them that little bit of confidence that says, I can do this.
Absolutely. And you know, I think any kind of performance experience, I mean, you don't have to go ahead and have a career in performing in the kind of true sense of what performance means to me, but we're all sometimes called upon to do things where we have to present, whether it's in a work environment or whether you have to, present even a case for something even in a private environment. Do you know what I mean? There are always cases where we have to sort of sometimes find our big girl pants and you know, and face something that perhaps we wouldn't normally have to face. And I think that these kind of environments like the Guild are so useful and helpful, even if it's not for performance, if it's just for life.
Just for life. Krissy, thank you so much for talking to me.
You're
and
welcome.
Enjoy the rest of the week, and I hope we'll have other opportunities to chat before this Guild is
I'm
over.
basically pitching a tent in the gardens, so I'll be here.
I'll come and see you.
Thank you.